Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, everyone. Good morning to Lady Mist, our guardian of the void. Lady Mist is in the chat. Good morning, Snorted Poopus Cuber, my favorite polar bear on YouTube. Good morning, Mark the Imply Tired, Chris Persian, Project Storytime, the Bash Brother Wrenches are here. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Dave G. Sound, Big Raj, Zacharat 315. Good morning, guys. Good morning to Mary's Game Room. Good morning to the lady, Arwyn Avalon. Good morning. She's going to be up here in just a minute. Olds Gamer 72 Cutlass. Good morning. Good morning to Brian Dawes. Good morning to Dave Bob, my brother from another mother, Dave Bob. Good morning. Adega Outlaw, the Doctor of Disaster and Destruction, the Mad Doctor, is here, ladies and gentlemen, throwing out jalapenos, tacos, and Canadian maple leaves. Good morning, Adega. Daryl the Derelict, greetings, program. How are you doing, brother? Stig Kenobi, good morning, brother. He said when Trudeau got COVID, it hit him like a truck. Ha ha ha. Good morning to Darth Arlenas. Good morning. Good morning, Darth. How are you doing, Arlena? So good to see you. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. Keely, Roll Tide. Good morning, everybody. Dean Krantz. Good morning, Speaker. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. If I missed anybody, Dave G. Sound, Gun Buddy. Gun Buddy. Good morning, Gun Buddy. And where Gun Buddy is, Psychodorp 9 is not soon to follow. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so a little disclaimer before we get things started off this morning. I do not talk politics on this channel. In fact, I even mentioned the word of politics and views drop off. See, two just left. So you saying those words, saying politics, we don't talk. It's something we don't do. But it's kind of, some of it is a little unavoidable in this situation. So there is going to be talk about the Freedom Rally. We are going to talk about the position that the Canadian government is in, and we're going to talk about what Fat Steven has been covering and how has it affected him. So, to be upfront, honest, and completely transparent, if politics come up, they might get dabbled in. But that's all it's going to be. So, we're going to talk about what the truckers are doing. We're going to talk about what the government's doing, and we're going to talk about how Fat Steven has been covering all of this since day one, and someone that has been with him is Valhalla's very own Twinkie Queen, Arwyn Avalon. So she is here as well. Do you like that Twinkie princess?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Shit, God. I'm sorry, my brain. Yes, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. And good morning, Fat Steven.
Good morning, Loki. Thank you for having me today. It's been long days lately. I feel like I'm up there in the Mahler category lately. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You sound tired, brother.
I am tired. I am tired. Sorry, that was someone else screaming. But it's the point where it's kind of taken over because they don't usually everyone knows the trope with Canada, like South Park tropes and all that stuff. But we're at the point now where I think the message and the footage outweighs anything else. And it's kind of changed me to like trip off my own content and just show what's going on with other people that are on the ground there, because the more eyes, the better. And honestly, I'm getting sleep. The energy drain is coming from seeing the reality of what people fight for, whether it's in politics or just to be heard. And this is the shit that's the last few days is not only I've not been the most embarrassed to be Canadian sometimes, but I've also been the most proud. And it's kind of like an even scale sometimes.
What set you off? Because I know the other day You put out that video, and I commented on it and commented in
The police chief?
Twitter. You had done a short video. It was the first one on this topic that you did.
It was the police chief. That's when he came out and was trying to label them and shit. I remember it was the police chief slowly of Ottawa, yeah, and how he was describing it, and what was actually going on was two different things. And I started to see how narratives on either end twist things. And that's when I was like, whoa. And I had to give my commentary because I had to it was more focusing on how these labels are dropping down on people and how it will just affect the people that are actually protesting and giving up a lot. It's just giving up their name, their character, and their livelihood of respect of that character, and how it will travel down to even just their kids and their family related because of those types of titles. That was my biggest pee off with this. You don't go around throwing, like we've all talked about this in pop culture or comic books. It's the same thing. You're like throwing out, oh, you're a misogynist now. Oh, you're an is now. Oh, you're a phobe now. It's like collecting Pokemon. But when your politicians are doing it to you with no valid proof, they're just throwing it on you. It's just, you're already sending the rest of the country after you. But then you're saying you're standing for Canadians or the people, and then but you're villainizing them, and you're ruining the rest of the future for the people associated with those families. Mm-hmm. And that, I think that's why I started focusing on it. I started believing if I can't be down there, the least I can do as a Canadian is try to get as much footage from other feeds across the board, give them credit. I don't want your money. I don't want to give crap about your money. But
wait. What happened? Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. Give me your money. I know it's a joke. Everybody out there, he actually made like a little video about give me money with the person bashing the cash register.
But no,
this kind of goes against this. Okay. So just for anybody that doesn't know, Stephen has presented this characterization of himself where he is grifting. And that is not what he does, but since it
was put on me, but yes, same thing. Yeah.
Yes, the credit card and the bashing of the ATM and I know you don't care about the money. I know you don't care about the super chats. I know you don't care about the money. Send the money to the truckers through the Christian GoFundMe, whatever it is. Go baby go, whatever.
Send go. Yeah, I think they're at over 5.5 million after GoFundMe pretty much just out of themselves for and even you got senators in the US calling for an actual investigation. Good job, GoFundMe disrupting.
Yeah. They're currently at 6 million, over 6 million.
And the rumors, if anyone's been paying attention, there's been no valid proof that 50% of the police force has resigned. But I've seen some videos from a 13-year-old medic serving in Ottawa, giving up the job, almost breaking in tears. I've seen some weird stuff. And it just took over. I'm not political. I'm still not political. That was my main goal with this crap, because this is the other thing about it. So like you got politicians on one side and news media that has not been down there at all. That is another reason why I want to do this too, because like the more eyes, the better. If someone's channel gets wiped out, all their footage could be gone too, right? At least now I have it backed up. Mm-hmm. And mainstream hasn't been down there, but they're waiting for situations where there's chances of that sex sells mentality. You know, everyone knows what that means, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they haven't been down there. Then we're seeing the titles. And then we got these people in the chat, and we got people across the board, whether you're with the protesters or against the protesters, or you're for the mandates or you're not for the mandates. You're trying to label it left, right, alt, right. That I don't care about that. I hate that stuff. I hate politics.
Well, you said that the
humanity
news media is not there, but as we saw yesterday, as soon as there was a chance for violence, MSN was right there with a camera crew. They won't cover it. They won't cover the peaceful protesting. They will not cover. But as soon as there is a chance for violence, they are there with a camera crew.
It's ghoulish, but that's true. That's what they're waiting for. Yeah.
But there's been so many people down there with cameras, with streams, with everything. It's just there's enough footage to go down there that if it was so dangerous, if it was so hostile, there are truckers down there. Okay, let me get this straight. There are truckers down there with their families living with them in the cabins. Okay, there are
Well, that's
families
what part
actually.
of that. That's what part of that money was for.
Yeah.
Was to house them, keep them warm, keep them fed. The GoFundMe money was supposed to be paying for all of that while they're there.
Yeah.
All right, people keep, and the other thing I don't know if this is considered patriotism or just doing your part, trying to make sure these people aren't suffocated. But I hate politics. I'm not left. I'm not right. I'm not centrist. I'm not libertarian. I'm not alt right with shiny boots. I'm not alt left with shiny hats. Whatever it is going on over there, I'm not that. But I wanted to focus on the humanity as well. Like everyone, if you take out all the politics and the crap going down, stop labeling that, and look at how you have all these people that are coming together just for a belief, a principle. A lot of them are there for their children. It's something beautiful when you see the smiles, the hugs, the high fives, the bouncy castles of terror, by the way, and the haystacks of insurrection and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But the humanity in there is brilliant. And if you're not seeing what's going on in Canada, you're seeing it happening all over the world now. All over the world now. Like, I think 30 countries.
Do you agree with the statements from the Canadian government that this will not end until the government is overthrown? That is the goal of the...
No.
Okay.
Honestly, that politician, Jagmeet Singh, I'm going to say his name, honestly, is a two-faced flip-flopper. Because that guy, back in 2020 area, when we were still dealing with the lockdowns and the fear protocols, that's what I pretty much labeled it. He was there trying to help the disabled communities who literally either got clawbacks from the CERB, which are the emergency relief funds and stuff like that. It's like, oh, we're here to help you. We're here to do this. We'll get as much thing out there. But as soon as it got a little bit, we were billboarded again. And it's the same thing whether you're a minority or anything else. They'll say so much, then they'll billboard you, then they'll blow you off. And what he's saying right now and how he was talking when I saw that clip last night, I'm like, dude, you are so off the mark that they're all trying to reach for Jan 6. And it's like, there's no Jan 6 here. And siege, occupation, demonstrator, protester, insurrectionist, anarchist, misogynist. If they're running out of books in the Webster's dictionary to label these people as evil, and it's not working.
It's true.
What got you involved in this, Arwyn? Because you've been side by side with Steven since the very beginning. What got you? What fired you up and made you want to help cover this?
Oh God. Well, first of all, I agree. I know people try and make this political, and there might be some politics involved, but this is more of a human interest story. And I mean, and Loki, you're American, so you know the bullshit that our country went through with the burnings and the protests and the,
Oh yeah,
just the bullshittery of it all. I mean, my God, you talk about insurrectionists and it being an occupation that's being put on these people. We lost a goddamn city for a month.
yeah.
And people don't realize, but when they took over that city, they flat out said they were seceding from the United States. Okay. Yes. It was their own freaking city. And just about every major city in this country had some sort of bullshit happen. I mean, Atlanta's 2 hours away from me, and there was bullshit going on in Atlanta. So we saw what true destruction can do. And these were not people that were fighting for freedom. These were people that just wanted to burn shit down and loot and cause problems.
That's right. And that's exactly what they were doing, was burning buildings down, looting buildings.
Yeah.
And shooting people.
Yeah.
There was a a former police chief that was shot in the street. That is why a certain YouTuber that we all know and love, Mr. Robert Meyer Burnett, went off and was pretty much exiled from the Hollywood scene just for talking about the fact that people were acting like animals.
Yeah. So that became political. My God, we got our belly full of politics. And like Steven, I don't give two shits about politics. It does not affect my daily life. It does not affect the way I think about things. I don't care what somebody believes. If you can come to me and we can have a discussion like adults and we can share our thoughts and then part ways, fine, let's do that. I'm okay with that. But when it becomes such a monopoly of, well, you have to be left and you have to be right, and if you're interested in what these people are doing, well, let's pigeonhole you, or you've got to be over here because you believe this. No, that's not what it's about anymore. Even being patriotic and being proud of your country now is considered a political act. And it's like, that's not how it's supposed to be. So when I saw Canada getting their shit together and saying, look, this isn't about politics. This is about a basic freedom that we have to choose something that we either want to be able to do or not want to be able to do, but we want it in our hands, not in the hands of the government. And they were doing it peacefully. They're keeping that city clean. They are coming together under a purpose that everyone can relate to. And they've got their shit together. And then to see them being labeled as ists and phobes and terrorists and insurrectionists, I'm like, it's fucking upside down clown world, because we lived through that. The U.S. lived through that. And I'm sorry to get heated. I'm sorry. But it's like, this is the way it's supposed to be done, people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And you have every reason in the world to be heated. You are absolutely correct. This is how this is done. They have not occupied Ottawa. No. They have parked in the streets. They have not, it is not an insurrection to take over the government. They simply want their human rights restored. That's what they want.
And that's the thing. Well, let me get this straight. They've been there in 11 days. And they haven't approached the building. They've cleaned up their capital. They're feeding the homeless, giving them clothes. Holy I want those people to insurrect my apartment and clean it the hell up. Please come on down. Park in my hallway. I got some garbage you can take downstairs. Let's go. Fudge.
You know, and there was a lot of stuff that went into January 6th. And for them, people to just say, it's another January 6th. It says, I'm like, fuck you with two middle fingers. Y'all have no idea what you're talking about. I'm sorry. I'm heated. Steven, we put up with this shit for a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
When that shit shook out in Seattle, I've got relatives in Seattle. You talk about disrupting families, and then for Canada, not Canada, but for Ottawa to call out whoever, I'm so tired, I'm sorry, for them to call out the National Guard or not, a state of emergency. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yep.
Y'all you're going to call a state of emergency on these people?
Yeah, they are.
When nothing happened in the States, I'm like, state of emergency. I don't care what country you're in. That is extreme. That is for very extreme circumstances. And all these people are trying to do is say, look, half of them aren't even against getting the poke. That's not their point. Their point is they just want the freedom to choose their own medical treatment. And once that's taken away from a citizen, then the government can come in and say, well, you know what? You've got this, so you have to take that. Or maybe you're too far long gone in this instance. So we're going to deny you treatment because, you're terminal. Who knows what they're going to do? So, yeah, I'm fired up.
Let's not also forget that they passed the injunction yesterday that they can't honk horns for 10 days. Any truckers honking the horn, anyone honking the horns, they can literally be arrested or ticketed. And we've seen clips of that old man who got pulled out of the car, as well as the dude in the green pickup truck. There's things, the jerry can arrests, all that stuff. There's rumors that there's supposedly a riot RCMP on their way down there. And what we're seeing already after the conference that came late last night from the convoy is that they're performing the thing called kettling, because they have retired RCMP in the convoy organizer group.
And that group has promoted a lot of peace. And see, this is what worries me. This when I see this, and I saw you broadcast a meeting where they were talking about where there was the main group, basically the leaders of this. Very peaceful. We don't want any trouble. They came down. They wanted to take our gas. They had snipers. They had a SWAT team.
Oh, that was the fuel dump. Yeah, that was one of their the truckers' base camp, and they came in there as for criminal investigation because they were saying there was complaints from businesses. So they came in there and took all the donated fuel.
Yeah, but the way these gentlemen talked was very peaceful, very straightforward. They don't want trouble. They said we were really proud of our guys because no one overreacted, no one gave them any problems. I can see problems happening just because of that, and it's almost like it's that almost like how your stomach turns right before you get sick. It's almost like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's also the messed up thing is the fact that we're looking at supposed to the Ambassador Bridge now, Windsor, that is blocked by a convoy, by protesters. Blockers, you know what that is, right? That's the Windsor Ambassador Bridge, that convoy. That is not blocked down, I think, since yesterday. You got Alaska Anchorage having a trucker convoy for Canadians coming down. There is, as much as Canada is an embarrassment to politicians, that's just pretty much what I'm guessing what they want it done out quickly. The message is already out. And Canada is the one that caused the inspiration, and I believe in that. It's not the message of stand up; it's the message of humanity, because there are people that are affected by these trucker convoys, or have been on the opposite ends of people from these convoys, or that have had their mask ripped out, have been attacked, or this and that. Yeah, I will never discern that stuff hasn't happened, but it's the humanity aspect that I am appreciating a lot more.
Dean Krantz with the $10 super chat. I've seen truckers shoveling the sidewalk, picking up trash, and playing hockey. Nothing there is what the corporate media is putting out there. And yes, I hate how they are othering people. Thank you so much, Dean, for that $10. That will go to the what is it? Give, Send, Go. That's going to go to any super chats this morning. Go to the truckers. It's all going to go to the truckers. So thank you so very much, Dean, for that $10 super chat. I was reading last night that the Canadian government was going out of their way to stop funding. They said because the majority of the money is American money, and they feel like this is all being influenced by American influencers, and that they're going to investigate with GoFundMe, because they want all the records of exactly who was donating and how they were donating and what they were paying with, because they are intent on blaming America for the mess that they're in now.
But no, it's not. It's literally Trudeau saying things like it's a non-starter, I will not talk to them. Things like these are a fringe minority, these have unacceptable views, and literally calling them misogynist and racist and whatever else. You literally went after your own people. And then you're trying to blame these people. Like, look, this is the thing that bothers me. Jan 6 was a day event, right?
Right.
So this has been going on for, let's say, 11, 12 days, and you're telling me none of them have even approached the Capitol? Don't you find that kind of a little defeated of the purpose of what they're trying to associate this with? Like, I just don't. It's just I honestly believe the Parliament at this point is terrified, or the ones in charge are terrified, and people like you got Candice Bergen who are literally like just trying to explain that they just want to be heard, and they're not even given the respect of talking. Shows that they don't want to listen to the people no more. They want the people to listen to them, and that it disgusts me. That's where the embarrassment part comes in.
Thank you, Trinoculus P. Go ahead, Arwyn.
I don't want to see what has happened to us in the U.S. as far as our attitudes happen to Canada, because so many of us are just war weary over this bullshit. And to see these Canadian leaders just say, you know, unacceptable views. I'll just hone in on that. Unacceptable views. How long have we been getting that? Unacceptable views. If you don't think like this or you don't do like this, we're not even going to entertain what you're about. We're not even going to listen what you're about. We're going to go ahead and slap a label on you, and we're going to go ahead and package you in a certain way so we don't have to listen to you. That's what they're saying. The more they can label them, then the more they can say, you know what? We don't have to hear what you have to say because you're not the right kind of people. And that is dangerous when you start labeling your citizens and splitting them up into camps. And shit, even seeing in some of the chats last night, it was great that there were different points of view. That's wonderful. But some people were not getting it.
No,
they were not getting it. They kept going back. They kept pulling back into this. Well, this is politics. Well, this is this. Well, this is that. And it's like, you're not understanding. Not every damn thing is going to be about politics. Sometimes it is just about what is right, what is wrong, and what is best for an individual. And that's okay. We can be individuals. But
Absolutely.
Americans are just exhausted. We're exhausted of being pigeonholed. And I think a lot more people are apolitical now because of that. I know I am.
I'm not political at all. No.
I was never big into politics, but at least I knew where I fit in a spectrum. Now I don't know where the hell I am. And you know what? I don't care anymore.
Yep.
I don't care because I'm tired.
But that's the shit. People just want you to be one side or another with political sides. I just don't care. And it's like, and as soon as you start talking about humanity, they try to bring up these things. Well, this person in this organization is this, and this is this, and I'm like, I swear to God, you have Asperger's. Like,
and
I
Dave
get
G Sound, to answer your question, I know a Canadian it'll go through. So it'll go through. It won't go through me here in America.
But it's just, people are so dedicated to prove that you're one side or another, and they don't understand that humanity as a whole, and they don't want them. Like, that's the divisive okay, I'll let it straight. Like, I'm a gaming channel. I have put myself through exhaustion. I'm doing 12-hour straight streams, going anyone else who's on the grid, giving them credit and throwing it down there, because I want to make sure that at least the footage is there from all perspectives, clips, anything, because
You're right, Steven.
I just wish people would grow the freak up and just understand that I think there's more things going on.
Who was the oh God, I can't remember the one we heard talk, the Indian gentleman. Jaleesh, I can't remember his name.
I don't know.
But if Loki, if I had been doing shots last night, I would have been drunk listening to his speech, because I swear to God, he pulled out every buzzword in the book. Even TDS hit his speech. And I'm like, what the fuck? It was like listening to a mirror of the crap that we've heard in the States.
Yeah. It is.
Do they have a handbook? Seriously.
Yes.
Do they have a handbook? Well, okay, let's turn to this page and let's label these people like this, because that's going to fire people up.
Yes.
That's going to automatically give negative connotations, so we can shut them down without having any kind of discourse or hearing what they're saying.
When you see politicians embedded in Hollywood now, showing up at Hollywood galas with dresses that say tax the rich, and they're laughing and they're, oh my God, and, oh, how are you? And oh, it's so good to see you again. It's all wrapped up in the same horseshit. It's all wrapped up in that same blanket. The handbook is real. You know, you say, do they have some kind of handbook that, oh, yes, they do. And they have the words they need to use. And this is what we need to point our fingers at them and say, because it means we're on the right side of things when they're not.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not about, so many people think, well, it's either left or it's right. No, that is exactly what they want you to think. That is exactly what they want you to think. Because now it's their way or no way.
Mm-hmm.
It's their way or you're a horrible, nasty person. Just like these truckers are horrible, evil people because they say so. And thank you, Dega, for that 1999 super chat. Freedom isn't free. The good people in our world need our backing for the truckers. And Brandon, the anime guy with the $9.99 super chat, what you are witnessing is the Marxist playbook being played out by totalitarian governments around the world. It is part and parcel for what eventually comes. Stand up now and fight it.
I think the best way, the only way to fight it is like that. I want to bring something that comes with fighting it. A lot of people are like, this is what I've noticed across the board. A lot of people are down on the feet. They like on the feet. It's like any time they could have been arrested. Let's say they decided to cancel this and shut this down right away. And I don't know what else to do. I can't walk that long. I can't get down there. So I get judgments like that. I'm just doing this for money. I don't want your money. You're this. I don't care about your subs. I don't care. And then I just want to get the message that I want to get as much footage out there because that's the best I can do as a Canadian in Canada. I have been through Doug Ford's bullcrap, in Ontario. I'm still going through it. 2021, beginning of 2021, people remember, like, I couldn't even get to the hospital because of shit that's going on when my dad got taken to the hospital. I have been trapped, being limited to what I can do. So I do the best I can. I put energies in different things. And then you come across other feeds of people who are claiming to be photojournalists and journalists. And they're down there complaining about other people restreaming, even though they're getting credit because they're afraid money is being taken away from them. And that's where I'm like, okay, I'm not going to watch your feeds anymore. If you're only talking about how much money you're not getting because someone might be taking away from you, why the hell are you down there? That's the one thing that's been bothering me with this. The people that are complaining about the monetization factor. People want to donate. They will donate because they want to, not because you are down there and you are saying you deserve it. You bought that camera. You bought the gas. You got in your car. You drove down there. Don't bitch about money that might not be coming to you. There is bigger channels out there who are restreaming and cropping your feeds and taking all the donations, and that's it. Every time I even see a super sticker, I'm like, don't send me your money. Give it to the fund. I'm not here
I
for
can
money.
attest to that. I've seen you. I've seen it. Snorted Poops Cuber made this comment. So just like those trolls in Steven's stream, they're just saying the same things over and over from their scripts. That's why they couldn't discuss it rationally, even if they wanted to. How much shit have you dealt with? Both.
I've had this guy. I've had this one guy named Fixitron. This dude. This guy. I swear to God, he wants like a 12-month calendar of me naked. I swear to God, because. For like I went from my first 12-hour stream or 11-hour stream, whatever how long it was. He keeps going on about adding thing about things in the both organizers. What about this? What about that? And I'm like, bro, do you understand that the words "I don't care about politics" means I don't give a fuck about politics. I'm caring about the humanity, the message, the smiles. He's like, well, and then he goes back into other stuff over and over and over again. And I'm just like, dude. And then he tells me, he's like, then he tells me to calm down, or he tells one of my mods to calm down. Or it's mind their business. And I'm like, okay, I'm blocking you. Makes a new account, comes right back in. I'm like, bro, what the hell? And then he starts again.
Yeah, he's had 3 names. He's had 3 names at this point. He keeps coming back. And he's not getting, it's like, it's not about the politics, dude. He's just.
We saw the guy who, the dude that was pulled over for 20 minutes on camera that someone was filming, right? And then all of a sudden, there's the unidentified black cop trucks show up, right? And he starts backing up, almost hitting the car. So he moves the truck back so he doesn't get hit. But they still hit him. And then they start yelling at him that they hit him. He hit them. And then next, no, he's on the ground.
People want your calendar, by the way.
They don't want my calendar. No. Whoever said that, time them out.
No, it was Man Squatch. I'm not going to time him out. Mm-hmm.
I do watch Viva Frey. I watched him when I credit every person I'm streaming if I can read their name. There's been one with just Chinese figures and I couldn't read it.
Nearsighted Cyclops with the $25 super chat. January 6th was not January 6th. There are folks still in prison who have not even been charged. Keep the cameras on, or you will face the same thing. I dropped in, and that one guy that you had on, and thank you very much, Nearsighted Cyclops. The one guy you had on was walking out in the middle of nowhere. He had been in a cab, but then he's walking out in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, this is not where you want to be. You want to be with everyone else where everything's going on because there is protection in numbers. But this guy's out walking in the middle of nowhere. Even when you're streaming, anything could happen. He was almost arrested before this. And he's out walking all on his lonesome, trying to get back to where everybody's at. That is not where you want to be. That is not what you want to be doing. He should have never gotten out of that cab. Just turn around and go back.
Can I throw this clip on here? This is from the city council. Now watch Diane Dean's here.
I believe that we need to ask every level of government to use the powers and the authorities that they have to declare the emergencies that we need to bring this situation to a peaceful ending. We cannot allow this kind of terrorism in our community to continue in this way. And so I would implore our legal.
That's it. We want this. We need to go higher to get these states of emergency. We need to peacefully end this act of. They're claiming it as tea.
Yeah, they have no idea. No. They have no idea. Apparently, no one remembers things like 9/11. No one remembers things like that. No one remembers what real terrorism is. So, yeah, I'll say that word if YouTube wants to shut me down. I don't care. Shut me down. Close the channel just for saying that word. I really could give a shit less. That's not what that is. That is not what they are doing. They are having a peaceful protest. And from my understanding, Trudeau is all about peaceful protests, even protests that aren't so peaceful.
I have not seen anything that disrespects the nation's capital. When you have the counter protesters with Viva Frey, and he's literally trying to approach him and ask him questions. You know how if everyone's watched Viva Frey, that man's smile and attitude can disarm a nuclear warhead. You don't even touch it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because you see the counter protesters there. First of all, they're not social distancing. Going to point that out, just if they want to follow those rules and whatever. Anyone he approached, there was this chick holding a Black Lives Matter protest sign.
Yeah.
Which has nothing to do with it's like they had a bin of protest signs, and that was the last one. That's okay, I'll just use this one, even though it's not about that. Let's just put this one up in the air. She would tell people to not engage, not talk to them. They left. When they left all the protest signs all in the snow, like as trash. They didn't even clean up after themselves. They're chanting, "This is our city, go home." We have other people saying, we have one guy in the back going, "Hey, what was it? Well, if you're not from Ottawa, you don't live in Ottawa, you shouldn't be here." Yeah. None of these people have the understanding that this is the nation's capital. Everyone has a right to visit their parliament. It's a nation's capital. That is allowed. And they're only seeing this, I can't sleep. But I'll give the benefit of the doubt for this one. Because Viva's interviewed other people saying they can hear the horns from say 9 blocks away, 10 blocks away. Right? I understand the horns. I understand the noise thing. That's fine. I can agree with that. But everything else, they have cleaned and treated that city with more respect than most city workers ever do that are paid to do it. picking up snow, feeding the homeless. Like all these donations are coming in, and they even have people from other bakeries and restaurants. Like that, this Polish woman came down with a U-Haul truck full of sausages and bread and stuff. It's like, I just came to Canada to escape a communist country, and I am seeing it here again and being reminded. I did not come here to relive that. And she just opens the truck, and it's all this food, like people handing out coffee, people handing out donuts, shoveling snow, keeping war memorials clean. I don't think you can find a higher level of respect for not only your country, your capital, and for the people, because all eyes are on you. And yet all they're getting is labeled. And it's not what they're doing now is going to be affected. It's the labels that are going to go down and make the rest of life for those people. You might not be able to get a job again. Kids are going to be bullied through school, beat up because my mommy or my daddy or the news said this. Sisters, brothers, aunts, this is going to have a wide effect that you are going to tarnish a whole crap load of Canadians because you're too embarrassed and too stubborn to go down and talk to your own Canadians. But you have no problem saying live, I feel safer going to a BLM protest. Why? Because there's free fire everywhere from marshmallows. Like that's the thing that bothers me. It's that how you can judge a man of their own humanity, but you refuse to talk to them.
Well, from what I have seen over the past 2 years, no, don't be sorry. Stephen, don't be sorry. This is exactly why I asked you to come on here, just to get your opinion. From what I've seen over the last 2 years, what government has done is draw a line in the sand and say, you cannot cross this line. They just haven't said that. They haven't come out and actually said that. You will not cross this line. And then anybody that does it, they are escorted to wherever. They are taken off out of the game. They are taken off the board. They are fired. They are allowed to not get a transplant. It goes on and on and on. And it's this, you will not cross it. And people are crossing it. And it's being handled very, very quietly. And the people that are commenting are the people that are saying, good, you have to do this. I had to do this, so you have to do this. And that's not the way the world
No, they chose to have to do this. There's a difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. I was stubborn on getting my first jab, but I had to do it. If I need to go to the doctors, the way they're putting I'm under medical review to even keep my income of disability from the government, I have to do because I don't know I haven't been keeping attention to what we're allowed to do to make a doctor's appointment. I'm okay, but I'm also with my dad. I've been taking care of my dad. That's one of the reasons when people make jokes like with Steven, we're going to have to just like underground railroad you to Texas or Florida. I'm like, I'd love to, but my brothers won't step up and take care of my dad. I have to do this. So I understand sacrifice in a way. And I'm not saying I'm sacrificing, but I'm saying I'm putting more important things in the front of me than just trying to live comfortably. And there's just, like I said, it's a fickle scale. I've never been more embarrassed and more proud at the same time. But you look at Alaska, you look at Budapest or Sweden or Austria or Australia, New Zealand, you look at all these other countries and truckers everywhere. Mandates in Saskatchewan, Alberta being dropped. Quebec giving up the vax tax. Even Basco or Gascar, like he's popped on a couple of streams too. He has never seen so many Quebec flags with Canadian flags in Ottawa. You know what I mean?
I read something last night that the truckers had Yahtzee flags, which I haven't seen. There were Yahtzee flags on every corner. That was from TCR or TVR or whatever. It was Ottawa News Network. Mm-hmm. It was Ottawa News Network. That there were Yahtzee flags on every corner, and American rebel flags. Now I have seen one or two Stars and Bars, but I have not seen a rebel flag. I have not seen a Yahtzee flag.
Ooh.
I've seen Canadian maple leaf flags, and I've seen
got
stars
you.
and bars, American flag.
I got you. I'm going to try to find Gascar because Gascar gave me a link yesterday, and I think I'm just tomorrow. Hold on. Hold on. Let me get to this. Hold on. I'm trying to get the. Now I'm going to pause this. I'm going to put this here.
Oh, that's insane, Chris.
Where's yours?
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
Chris Persia, it's insane when 4-year-olds who are too young to receive the poke are refused treatment because they haven't had the poke. That's insane. That's insanity.
But I think what people need to see is this dude talk. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready to go.
Because he nails it with the whole people focusing on those flags, right?
So one of the things I want to say is there's a lot of talk going on about how this is a white nationalist movement. Now, people are focusing on the 2 or 3 people with the Nazi flag that they saw in a group of 1 million people. Let me break down something called sample size. Now, when you've got 1 million people and you've got 3 people in that group carrying a Nazi flag, because everybody loves science, scientists are called outliers. The bigger your sample size is, the more outliers you're going to find. That's just statistics. Meaning, if you have a big enough sample size, you can find a fucking Teletubby. Why? Because you have such a big population, you can find just about anything. Guess what? They did the same shit with the PCR test. If you use a PCR test and you magnify it big enough, you can find just about anything. And to judge an entire convoy of millions of people off 10 people in that millions of people are doing is fucking ludicrous. Out of 100,000 Canadians, 104 of them are incarcerated. Should we judge all Canadians as criminals based on that logic because we're focusing on the 104 out of the 100,000 Canadians that are incarcerated? Or would you think it's fair that somebody judges you on the worst moments you've had in your life or the most shameful moments you had in your life? If we magnified and just focus on that, would you think that was fair to you, the totality of your character and the totality of who you are and what you stand for? The most people affected by vaccination passports are minorities, meaning blacks, white, Asians, and Hispanics, and Native people. So that means if it was a white nationalist movement, why would a white nationalist movement stand up for something that would allow these minorities to get their jobs back? Because no longer would they be segregated. This is not about being anti-vax or vax. This is about freedom and having the choice and not being fired from your job and be able to break bread for the choices you make to not take a shot. Meaning, if this was a white nationalist movement, why would they support minorities going back to work to break bread and put food on the table? Don't get it twisted. The real Nazi movement is segregation. The real Nazi movement is telling people that they have a disease so they can segregate them from society and block them from breaking bread and putting food on the table for their family.
That dude, Gascar got me that link. And I'm not, hopefully I don't get you in trouble or anything. Hopefully I don't. But like, dude, that was pure fire.
Yeah, pure fire. And thank you, Dave G. Sound.
Critical thinking for the win.
It's amazing that this is where we are at right now.
The fact that it's Canada stepping up is so freaking weird to me as a Canadian.
No, I think it's beautiful because right now we should be doing more and we're not. And whether it's through fear, whether it's through fear of losing your job, whether it's from fear of being taken down, whatever it is, you guys are doing the right thing. And fortunately, I see, Alaska moving over there, bringing their trucks. I saw a whole bunch of construction equipment and trucks headed that way, flatbeds and dump trucks and all kinds of heavy vehicles.
What? Hold on. Why Trinoculus? Because maybe it's because I've heard all the jokes and stereotypes, whether it be South Park or anything else. We're known for just saying sorry, eh? And you want to play some hockey, eh? You want some poutine, eh? Montreal smoked meat, eh? Hey, where's my beaver moose, eh? Like all that stuff. So when I see it, it's not like an embarrassing, like I'm blown away. It's amazing. It's a different thought process outside of what you usually always hear. What you hear from other people about Canadians. Oh, you watch a lot of Trailer Park Kid Boys, eh? I'm happy that it's Canada doing it. At the same time, it's weird because you don't usually see this stuff in your back door. Maybe that's just my ignorance.
No, I don't think so. Brandon, the anime guy with 499 super chat. Thank you, Brandon. Give Send Go is now above 6 million USD. Truth is truth. Never let another say the truth is a lie. Ever. I'm sure a lot of that money got moved over from GoFundMe. I'm sure a lot of that money, because they had to eventually break down and say everybody's going to get a refund. They were just going to give that money to another charity, and then they were like, no, everybody gets a refund, because they were going to get sued. Texas was already looking at suing them over that. So
I do want to say something, though.
Yes.
Something really positive that's come out of all this. And we can't forget that, because I don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes we all have a tendency to get tunnel vision on the worst case scenario and things that don't go well. But this has lit a fire under a hell of a lot of people across the world. And when we say, the world's eyes are on Canada, that's true. That's happening. And
There's
people are
even arguing
responding.
that. People don't believe that there's all eyes around Canada. And I'm like, well, if they're not, why is everyone going to YouTube to find footage that's not on any news?
Yeah. And it's just reemphasizing to us there are some things worth fighting for. There are some things making yourself uncomfortable for and risking everything. I mean, hell, the United States was basically founded by a treasonous act. That's what we were labeled, because we wanted freedom, and we were labeled all these things, terrorists and treasonous. And so sometimes you have to stand up for what you believe. If it's freedom and it's affecting your individual choice to do or not do what you see fit as an adult, then yeah, it's worth that. And like I said, countries are responding, because it's not about frickin' politics. It's about autonomy and being an individual and just wanting to get on with your life and live it the way that you want to live it.
I would really just like to go back to playing video games. But as soon as I wake up, I'm like, is this the day shit's going to hit the fan? I don't like that mindset.
Do you think it is? You've watched this a lot more than I have. Do you think it is?
With the camp raid and the sniper nests that were supposedly confirmed when they were going in there, and the amount of comps coming down, or the 600 to 800 at RCMP, whatever coming down. It's going to be somewhere where there's not families down there, but there's always going to be families there because there's truckers with their families. So we'll know when it happens. If streamers are down there and all of a sudden every signal cuts off, we'll know they shut off the cell phone towers. But Trudeau is now embarrassed. He could tell it, and he made this mess. He made his own mess, but he's blaming everyone else. It's like he took it from the Doug Ford handbook.
Do you think they're going to shut down all the cell phone towers and keep them from getting anything out, and then go in and do something?
Yeah,
and
that's what that was the message that came out yesterday in the morning from someone that has contacts with. I'm not saying anything more, but they're saying they're going to start with kettling. That's what they're doing. They're going to go in with riot gear, and then they're going to, I suppose, you shut down the cell towers, move in. And you'll be able to tell if this is what I think this is going to happen, because eventually a streamer is going to see a group of media or mainstream media down there to capture everything. And I think when that shows up, then something's going to happen, because they want it televised. They want it broadcasted. The evil doers of Canadians of unacceptable values. And I'm like, freedom is not an acceptable value. The freedom of choice is not an acceptable value. it's just, I'm exhausted because it's like everything's unemotional on one side and everything else is just poured into emotion.
Chris Persia, he says, Stephen, it's 1800 RCMP. The police chief said he called for a reinforcement of at least 1800. That's what I heard as well last night, is that they want 1800 reinforcements there.
Yeah.
Do you think that if they get that, because from what I read last night, they have that, and they are getting that. As soon as that happens, they shut everything down and bring in the SWAT teams to clear them all out? A peaceful protest?
Yeah.
I don't know, but when it happens, it happens.
Because there are going to be stories, is what we're going to hear. We're going to hear a lot of stories. Oh, well, they had this, or they were making this, or they were doing this, or they were about to, we found evidence they were about to do this. When all we've seen the entire time this has been going on is a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Americans have dealt over the last 5-6 years. It's okay.
It's like Japan. It's all good.
Sorry.
For the last 5-6 years, we have dealt with cities being burned down, cities being taken over. Arwyn brought up Seattle. What happened in Seattle? And there was almost no real news coverage of that. You had to go looking.
Mm-hmm.
You had to go looking, and this being a peaceful protest, and you still got to go looking for any kind of information. Nothing is coming up on my newsfeed at all for anything going on in Canada. I've got to go looking. It's all stuff going on here. Supreme Court lift school mask mandates. Texas is going to be a blue state next year. It's an official resigns in the U.S. There's nothing about what is going on in Canada. Nothing on my newsfeed about what's been going on in Canada. And I've been using my newsfeed to look. So by now it should be like, well, you like looking at this stuff, so here it is. And it's not there. I literally have to go digging to find out what's going on, or I have to go on YouTube and watch videos. If I go on YouTube, I can find it because there's plenty of people doing videos. But actual news reporting, if it's not coming out of the news corporations in Ottawa, I'm not finding it.
It's not coming out of anywhere. That's the big thing. Nowhere.
So before we get out of here, how has this affected you? Fat Steven. How has this affected you, Arwyn? We'll go around real quick. Since this started.
Oh, my body's exhausted, but it doesn't matter. I'll still keep doing it. But, yeah, I'll keep doing it until either it ends or until, well, no, pretty much until it ends. And I apologize to people listening that I usually do shows with that I've had to say I can't do, shows that I've canceled, but it's more important. And
no, we get it.
I still don't like doing that because I'm used to routine and schedule, but you got to do what you got to do, right? It doesn't mean my content's going to change either. But I think having records of this footage everywhere is more important.
What about you, Arwyn?
Well, I'm both hopeful and horrified at the same time. I'm hopeful because I see people fighting for their freedom. And in some ways, you know, I'm not Canadian, but I'm very proud of Canada. I'm very proud of those people. I wish we had fought back more here in the States when all that bullshittery was going down. I really do. I know a lot of people tried, But I just, it makes me hopeful for people to stand up and say enough. But I'm also horrified because I see how deep those trenches go. You know, when a leader can stand up and say within the first 5 minutes, okay, you don't matter. You're not citizens. You don't matter. And just turn his back on them. That horrifies me. I lived in a country where there was no rights. The only rights you had was what their government gave you. And that was it. And if you stepped out of line, you either deported or you went to jail or worse. You had a hand or a head cut off. I mean, that was the way it was. So to see these countries where they're like, enough. That's a good thing. And however this shakes out, whatever happens, that inspiration and that passion has already trickled and has been felt throughout the world. And a fire has been lit. And that inspires me to want to give the support where I can and do what I can. And I don't know what I can do. You know, physically, I can't do anything. I'm not there. But damn it, I can support it and I can believe it and I can spread that message. And I think we all should do that. And again, it's not about politics.
Agreed.
It's about human rights. It's about human dignity. It's about choice. And we all deserve that. No matter what side of a political aisle you fall, we all deserve that.
Agreed.
And for the record, I would love to play a video game again. Seriously, I would. I would. My days just light speed out of here. But I've met some content creators at the same time that are great that we've been joking around with. That stream session we had with me, Treasure Hunter. It was the funniest crap I've ever had. Because he takes everyone's broadcast and puts it on one screen. And I noticed that we were up there. So I started playing the Boba Fett thank you video. And then we started going, hey, Treasure, do you know where we are? Can you hear us? And he was like losing his mind on stream trying to find out which panel was talking to him. And his chat was laughing his ass off. Because we started quoting Spaceballs and the chat started quoting Spaceballs. So I started talking to his chat and it came in through his stream and their chat was getting confused and laughing at the same time. And it's just like, yeah, those little moments made it all worth it. And if you are going to go down there, cameras on, mouth shut, especially when there's cops around. Like, just don't instigate. Don't throw your emotionals at them. Because that's what they want. That's what anyone wants.
That's what they want. They want you out of control.
They don't give into your emotions. There's going to be stuff you see that sucks. But don't let it overwhelm you. I wish I could get down there. I do.
Really quick, Castle, thank you for the 1999 super chat for the cause. Honk! Damn straight, brother. Thank you all for your super chats. I'm going to throw you guys out of skull because you have been so excellent today. $110. That is what is going to Gift Send Go. As soon as this show is over, $110. I will cover the part that YouTube takes, and we will get a large donation out to Gift Send Go this morning. Thank you all for your super chats, guys. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and we're going to burn the whole fucking village down this morning for all of y'all. Skull! This is all because of Pat Stephen and Arwyn. They have been kicking ass and taking names the last couple of days while all this has been going on. Obviously, this protest has gone on for almost 2 weeks now, but you guys, yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I will be starting a beer fund, I think, soon because, God, the amount of beer I have been drinking, you have no idea. I have gone through almost 740 milliliter cans of Budweiser the last few days. I'm drinking water. Yeah, that's how much I've been glued to here. No, I'm kind of serious. I've been drinking, coffee. Sorry.
Lots of boxes of wine too. Lots of boxes of
Those
wine.
are adult juice boxes. They're done by Capri Sun.
Yes, adult juice boxes. Just throw a straw in
Thank
it,
you,
poke a straw on the top of it, and drink right out of the box.
I'll
Thank
just
you.
rip into the box
no,
at this
no.
point.
No, Loki, thank you. Going out of your way just to even talk about stuff you usually don't. Thank you, because this is your Taco Tuesday, bro, which has turned into Twinkie Tuesday, and I'm very still awkward by the graphics behind us. But thank you, and thank you, Valhalla, for not like just turning it off because it wasn't what you wanted to hear today. So props to you. And thank you everyone who supports in the chat. It doesn't matter what stream you're watching. Thank you.
That's right. That's right. Thank you guys so very much. Thank you for hanging out with us. Just for everybody, Mexican Iron Man will be back next week, and we will be resurrecting old school Taco Tuesdays. So keep an eye out for that. But thank you. Thank you both for coming on this morning. Thank you both for being here. It sucks what is happening, but it's also inspirational what is happening. And if anything happens to those guys and gals that are down there, I think the world's going to take notice, and it better not. That is not what I want. I want Trudeau and the Canadian government to realize they have made a mistake and fix it. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just hoping there is no violence, there is no street sweeps with SWAT teams. All my prayers are going out to those truckers. So thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for telling it like it is and giving your thoughts and opinions on all of this. Thank you guys so much.
Beer fund.
Thank you, Loki.
Beer fund. Beer fund. And we'll catch you guys later. Stay safe. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend Anner. And we will see you guys tomorrow.
Honk, honk. Oh,
Honk.
These videos
Honk,
are
honk.
tremendous.
Honk, honk.
Like,
Honk, honk.
comment, and subscribe. And
Oh, come
have
on, Steven.
that notification bell.
honk.